Jesse and I are back on Wednesday night. We are live, man. AEW tonight. Another solid show. The Bastard Pack returns. Kenny Omega signs the contract for December 2nd. But no Jon Moxley. What happened? Cody Rhodes teams with Darby Allin against Team Taz. And they got another new member. Thunder Rosa challenges Serena Deeb for the NWA Women's World title. And the Young Bucks put over yet another young tag team in Top Flight. Guys, we got all your coverage of Dynamite, plus your AEW weekly news and rumors on the only podcast you need on Wednesday night. This is the AEW Dynamite post show right here on Off the Script.
Mine.
Alive with people still What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your Dynamite post show for November 18th, 2020. I am JD. I'm joined by my good friend on Wednesday night. Good friend in general, not just on Wednesday nights, but you guys get what I'm saying. Jesse, what is going on, man? What a Dynamite tonight. Very solid show. Nothing really that's going to blow away anybody or blow away the competition. But we got a solid show tonight, and AEW did a lot of good tonight from top to bottom. How are you feeling? What is going on, and what'd you think of the show?
Fantastic, man. Thanks for letting me out of catering, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Bro, listen, Titus needs all the help he could get. Dana Brooke is hurt.
Man,
okay?
Look, I don't care. I'm not to be regulated to catering anymore, man. No more.
All right, I'll put in a word to Titus, okay?
I will request out of my deal.
What'd you think of the show tonight, man? It was, like I said, solid from top to bottom. We got Young Bucks doing the deed. Well, not really doing the deed, but doing the good thing in making yet another young tag team, very young tag team, seem like they are on top of the world tonight. Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb showing us why AEW can have a great women's division, but nothing with it is anything resembling an AEW women's division. I feel like we're watching NWA's women's division here. And then Will Hobbs, the young Will Hobbs, the one that we always have stated on this show needs some sort of identity, has joined Team Taz, and he has done the dastardly deed of turning heel on Cody Rhodes, man. So a lot of good tonight on the show. What was your biggest takeaway from tonight?
Will Hobbs, it looks like they saw what everybody else saw and just looked like he was just too boring as a babyface and by himself. So they did probably the two best things they could do for him right now, turn him heel and put him with Taz. He'll be fine now. He'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a very good decision. in his career right now, especially being that we don't know much about him. And I think if you are that young, Taz is definitely the type of guy that you want to be there to groom you. So I think that's going to be a great move. As far as what we seen in that match tonight, I was very perplexed as to why we seen the ending that we did. We'll save it for later, but the lasting image of Darby Allin winning the championship at Full Gear and then coming right back around on Dynamite and taking a pinfall loss doesn't really sit well with me.
Nah, me either. I mean, I always try to go in with that mentality of, hey, let's see where they're going with this. Maybe they got a plan. I don't see any plan that could possibly come from this that would make sense out of pinning Darby Allin right away. That makes no sense to me.
No, that didn't make any sense to me at all either. We'll talk about that a little bit later, as that was the main event. Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes versus Brian Cage and Absolute Ricky Starks. And then we got Pac returning. It's good to see him back from overseas. He's back in the United States. 8 months away. The guy hasn't lost a step at all. Still looks as fantastic as he did when he was last seen on television back in the beginning of the year. He went one-on-one with the Blade, and it seems that the Death Triangle are back together. And I'm really going to double down on what you had mentioned a couple of weeks back, Jesse. I do think that with all the teams forming, all the triple threat tag teams, whatever you want to call them, three-man teams, it looks like trios. It looks like we should be heading towards what you mentioned before, and that was a trio championship. Something's got to be done.
They're pushing it, man. And every week on Dark, not only do they showcase six-man tags, they leave their trios records under there. I mean, that's there for a reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've already established a trios division slowly but surely under our noses. So I like how they're doing it.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the way that they should be heading right now with all the trios teams on Dynamite. But we are going to dive into all of this discussion tonight on Off the Script. This is the post show for November 18th, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back live 2 more times this week. Friday for SmackDown. Hopefully you guys don't fall asleep like I almost did during Raw. And then Sunday, we actually have the Survivor Series, and it was around Monday afternoon that I realized, oh shit, we have a pay-per-view this Sunday. Oh shit, it's the Survivor Series. I don't really recall me ever thinking back to a time or a year where I would forget the Survivor Series is actually the weekend that it's happening. But this year, I almost forgot that we were looking at a Survivor Series pay-per-view. So I will be live on Sunday night, and we will be talking about what I hope is a very decent pay-per-view on the WWE Network. So set your calendars, set your YouTube notifications. I will be live, and we will be number one in the community. As always, thanks to you fine people in the chat. We got 900 people right now filtering on in. We got people still coming on in here. Thank you for spending your Wednesdays with us here tonight on the podcast. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Helps out the video tremendously. Let's try for 750 likes on the live stream before we end it all tonight a little bit later. So that is your job. That is your goal. 750 likes. Super chats are open. If you guys want to hang out with Jesse and I at the end of the show, they will be open. And questions will be live to everybody in the chat. So get the super chats on in. Also a great way to support the cause here on OTS. Follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. Twitter just added these new Instagram-like stories to Twitter, which I don't really understand because I thought that Instagram and Twitter were very different from one another, and now all these social media sites are becoming one and the same, so I don't really understand what the difference is between any of them now, but they are called fleets. So I actually fleeted for the first time tonight during Dynamite, letting you people know that I would be live at 10:15 with Jesse doing the post show right here on OTS. So make sure you guys follow me on social media. Twitter is the place to be, at JD from NY206. If you want to do Instagram as well, same at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Again, turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit the thumbs up. If you guys want to join the channel as far as membership goes, every little bit helps. You guys get special emojis. You guys I am planning something maybe for the end of the year as far as what to do for all the members and whatnot on the channel, or I just might have it be with everybody, really, from the Twitch family to the Discord family to the members of the YouTube channel. Might have a big Q&A at the end of the year, so if you guys want to get in on that, join the channel membership. It's great for the cause as well here on the channel. If you guys want to go and check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the podcast, go and check out Monday Night Raw. Obviously, Wednesday, we got Dynamite, which you're watching right now. Friday, SmackDown. And then I'll be live on Twitch as well. So make sure you guys follow me on both platforms. If you could do that for me, I would appreciate it. And the podcast today is brought to you by my newest sponsor to the OTS family. Today is brought to you by Dr. Squatch, drsquatch.com. And you guys are going to use code SCRIPT at checkout to save 20% off, man. What a deal. They got everything from deodorants to toothpaste to soaps. And let me tell you something, man. I've been using them all week. Their shampoo and conditioner is fantastic. And their bars of soap, man. I got the cold brew cleanse. It is fucking phenomenal. Again, I would never put my name to anything I don't use or don't believe in. So if you guys want to get yourself some beautiful, just hygiene-esque, just soaps and deodorants and shampoos, man, I know you need it. Don't be like the usual geek out there in the wrestling community that doesn't shower for 4 straight days. Dr. Squatch is going to save you from that, man. drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. And I want to thank them for supporting the podcast here on AEW Dynamite and the post show. All right, enough of me shilling my shit. Jesse, we got a new member to the All Elite family, and his name is Matt Seidel. He signed with AEW, and it was made official as of today. Seidel has been appearing on AEW shows since his debut, and he made his debut at the All Out pay-per-view, and he wasn't under contract then, but he was working some dates with Ring of Honor before he actually did go full-fledged with AEW. Seidel wrapped up with his Ring of Honor commitments last month after TV taping since his debut in the Casino Battle Royale at All Out. He's worked primarily on AEW Dark tapings and a couple of Dynamite shows. What do you think of this signing, and is this a good move for Tony Khan and the boys over in AEW?
I don't think it's a great move, on the surface, but I don't think it's a bad move, but at the same time, it's the kind of guy that, everybody would love to have on the roster, but he's not going to move the needle today.
He's not going to move the needle. Nobody's really going to move the needle.
Yeah, I would even say he's not going to move the needle down the road either. But he's good to have in the mid card division, so it's not a bad thing. The guy can go. The thing is, will he drown over here in a sea full of guys who are just as good or better than him?
You know what he needs to do, man? He needs to find somebody that could complement him like they really need it. They don't really need it. But maybe he could find somebody to compliment him like Kofi Kingston once upon a time complimented him in WWE.
Yeah, that seems to be the default. Put him in a tag team, right, and hope they get over.
Yeah, but Matt Seidel is with AEW. I think it's a decent signing. Nothing that's going to really blow anybody's socks off. But again, it goes to show you that they are still signing talent. They are still getting ready to debut their new TV show, and they want everybody on board. They want all hands on deck, and this goes in line with that, and we discussed that a couple of weeks back. So this is definitely a thing that AEW is doing to get themselves ready for that second show, which is going to be on TNT, and I am assuming it's going to be on Saturday night. We're going to get a very old school WCW-esque Saturday night with AEW on Saturday night. That's just my prediction. And moving on with the news, Jesse, before we go into this next story, I'd love your thoughts on this. And I don't really think this is a bad thing. I think with everything that's happening right now in the world, as far as lockdowns and the pandemic and it going from bad back in the beginning of the year, and then everything kind of got a little normal. Not normal 100%, but somewhat back to normal. And now we're going back to what we did in March, and everybody's saying it's going to be worse now this winter than it was in March. I don't know what this means for WWE or AEW. I don't know what happens then, but AEW is having a terrible time, according to Dave Meltzer, selling tickets for Dynamite. And I don't really necessarily think this is a bad thing. This is a common thing. And this common thing is actually fan burnout and running from the same venue every fucking week since March. I mean, what do you want people to do there? So Meltzer mentioned this on the Wrestling Observer Live, noted that AEW isn't selling many tickets at this point. He says, and I quote, "It's just really the reality of the situation. They are now in a position where they just cannot sell tickets to these Wednesday night shows anymore." And he says that they set up contactless meet and greets to maybe bring fans in with Cody Rhodes, Arn Anderson, Lance Archer, Jake the Snake Roberts. That was this week prior to Dynamite. They also had set extra restrictions due to the pandemic now that's getting worse by the day here. No personal items will be signed, and any photo must be taken by an AEW staffer. Those are the new restrictions there in place for those contactless meet and greets. And the Jacksonville area has had a pro wrestling show filming content in the city practically every week, but they might have been burned out right now as far as the fans go, and the market may be burned out in that city as well. WWE is likely having the same issue if they do try and get fans in attendance and work out of one arena and one building for the foreseeable future. They're going to run into the same shit if they want fans in attendance. But it was also noted in the Observer newsletter that Dynamite's attendance was the lowest to date this past week, not only for the pandemic issues, but due to Hurricane Ida. They weren't given enough of a rough estimate, but the number was far lower than previous weeks. Between that and the pandemic, we had the smallest crowd to date as far as Dynamite is concerned. Again, Jesse, I don't think this is a big deal. This is just legitimately building burnout, city burnout, working out of Jacksonville, fan burnout. How many times can you fucking attend an AEW Dynamite show without getting bored? You know?
When WWE would come to Chicago for those 4-day weekends, you know, they had SmackDown on Friday and NXT on Saturday and pay-per-view on Sunday and Raw on Monday. They used to sell the packages, you know, go to all shows for like $5 or whatever the fuck it was. But I would get them because it was always cheaper to get the whole fucking weekend than to get one show. So I would get the whole package just to get a takeover. And I would go to a second show. It depends on which show. But after like a back-to-back night of WWE, I was in no mood to go back for a long time. Much less go back every week, you know. That can easily get tiresome. So there's only so many wrestling fans in that area that want to go out there every week to watch.
Yeah, especially in that market. But I did talk about this on the podcast this past weekend. WWE may even be getting rid of the live shows, and they might not be going back to a live tour for the foreseeable future. House shows may be canceled. I do think that is, on one hand, a bad thing, but I do see, as far as the product goes and getting people in the ring, working together, working on stuff, getting them used to each other, and, you know, maybe building for something to happen later on in the couple of weeks thereafter on TV. But I do find it to be a little bit more of a positive thing to cancel the house shows. Some people may disagree, but, you know, the less that you do them, the more... I guess the more sought after they're going to be. You know, instead of coming into a city 4 or 5 times a year, if you know WWE is showing up once in the entire year, it might have something of an effect to you and the family. Hey, let's get the kids and the wife. Let's go to the show because they're not really going to come back, you know, 2, 3, 4 times a year. This is the only time they're going to show up, and they might not be back till next year. So I do feel like it gives them more of a special attraction feel. So, right. You know, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but as far as all of this is concerned, everybody's struggling, and I don't think anybody from either side, whether you're a WWE fan shitting on AEW and vice versa, everybody's going through this same shit. So, you know, calm the jokes and take it easy. Everybody right now is going through the same shit, and it's hopefully going to pass.
It is. I mean, look, it's a part of it. You know, we've all already went through it a few months ago. Now we're getting ready to go back into it, and you know, it's kind of a bad time to try to now expand on live crowds when they're getting ready to reduce live crowds. So again, it's just gonna be a part of it for a while, guys. I mean, we're just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it. I honestly believe by this time next year, we'll be back to large crowds. I wouldn't say back to normal crowds, but I think we'll be back to large gatherings this time next year at least.
Yeah, I can only hope on that, and I hope that is definitely the case there. But as far as the news goes, I'm going to stop it there, and then I have major stories on Moxley Omega, and I got another story as it pertains to why Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley was booked so soon, and then news on Top Flight as well, which we will be getting into in just a second. Did you have anything to add, Jesse?
Yeah, congratulations to the Good family.
Aha.
Congratulations.
Yes, that was in my notes. You jumped ahead. I know. Jon Moxley kind of broke some breaking news. Yeah, what happened, Ryan Satin? You didn't get this one this time, geek. Huh? Moxley beat you to the punch.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
She's on top of the world, man. It's fucking unbelievable to see the growth when somebody leaves WWE. I always enjoyed Renee Young. I think she's a beautiful person. She's got that personality. You can tell she loves what she does when she does it. She left WWE. She got a cookbook out, which is doing amazing for her. She just started up a new podcast for herself. And now, with the news of what Moxley talked about tonight on his promo, she's pregnant. So congratulations to both him.
That was breaking.
And Renee. That's awesome. Breaking news, legitimately. Nobody knew about that at all. Moxley just kind of dropped it on everybody tonight like a big Macho Man elbow drop.
That's all. Look how much they respect the fans, man. That wasn't on a total diva show. That wasn't on a press release. That wasn't a promo to AEW fans. We learned firsthand that she was pregnant, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, good on them. Congratulations to both Moxley and Renee on that big announcement. We got the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, against a team that I had no idea who they were before they were even mentioned. They were on Dark. I caught some of their clips. They're very young. We got Darius Martin and Daunte Martin, two brothers, 19 and 21 years old. These kids are. And the Young Bucks found them via highlight reels on social media. The same way that the Young Bucks found both Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy highlight reels from all of their work in House of Glory. And I had no idea who these two guys were. And it's amazing how when you watch something like this unfold and you watch Matt and Nick Jackson kind of take the ball in their part of the court and they take it and they're in control of it. And it's almost as if you're watching them say, without actually saying it, hey guys, we believe in them. We want to give these guys a test right off the bat because that's how much we love what they do. That's how much they remind us of ourselves. And I don't know if you could have a better debut if you're both of these kids, Jesse. 19 and 21 years old. You got a handful of matches on Dark as far as your resume goes in the big leagues. And then all of a sudden, after about a month, less than a month, you're on Dynamite. You're on the second biggest wrestling show in the United States against the biggest tag team on the planet. And you passed the test with flying colors to a point where Nick Jackson after the match was like, holy shit. These guys are fucking phenomenal as you watched him utter under his breath to the crowd and the hard camera. This was an absolutely fantastic debut for these kids. I mean, if you are shitting on AEW, then you found nothing of interest here. If you're a Jim Cornette, you found nothing of interest here. You're probably going to just rinse and repeat yourself over and over again, dives and fucking topes and flips and this and that. But given the fact that they're 19 and 21 years old and they were in the ring with Matt and Nick Jackson, and they did as good as they did tonight. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. And the best part about it is I know I was texting you during the show, and you mentioned it to me. The Young Bucks made these guys look fucking legit even in defeat tonight.
Megastars. I watched them on Dark, and I was just like, they got it. I mean, they're all right. Now I'm looking at them like, they had it. They do have it, and they had somebody to bring it out in them. You know, hey guys, guess what? I got JD to watch a little bit of Dark.
Oh yeah, I watched a little bit of Dark last night.
He watched Dark. So after what we looked at on, I'm sure we'll get to it. After what we looked at on Dark, and then we watched this match with the Bucks. I mean, you really learn to appreciate. And I'm 3/4 of the way into the book. you really appreciate what they did for these guys tonight, man. They really put these guys over in defeat. It was awesome.
And the Young Bucks are not only the only team that want to work with these kids. Many in AEW right now want to work with Top Flight. And this match was actually supposed to happen last week. It got bumped. Nobody knows why. But I wasn't going to question if the Young Bucks don't want the match to happen on last week's show and they want it to happen a week later. That's on them. They know better than anybody.
Injury, recovery.
Yeah,
knee.
it was in the notes. Matt Jackson's ankle. You know, it might have been bothering him a little bit more than it was. But the ankle, he's cleared. He's good to go. Or the ankle or the MCL, ACL, whatever the injury is. And they moved the match to this week. Now, the Martin brothers supposedly remind the Jacksons of a younger version of themselves. The high-flying team of Darius and Daunte, like I said, 21 and 19 years old. They might be green to some, but the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that following an appearance on AEW Dark, there are plenty of people in the company already that want to work with Top Flight. They got the tryout when they sent Matt Jackson a video, reached into his Instagram private messages, and after watching a few seconds, he wanted them in AEW. He felt the same, like I said before, with Private Party. Private Party did the same thing. They went about the same process, and both the Young Bucks wanted Private Party in AEW. They came in for Dark, and a lot of teams were really impressed and wanted to work with them, but they are still green, but almost everyone is at this stage of the game, and the sky's the limit for these two. So they had a great showing on Dynamite tonight. Non-title match, obviously. A lot of action to keep track of here. It was a very standard Young Bucks match and very standard to what these two kids can do as far as athleticism goes. Nick and Darius started off with Nick Jackson. Usually, you know, Nick goes for his usual opening offense, and they were in control and kind of goading the Young Bucks into their head games, their own version of head games. Matt and Daunte tagged in, and Top Flight hit stereo kicks before kicking Nick off the apron. So Nick got a blind tag. Down Daunte with the super kick. Matt hit a drop kick through the ropes on Darius before the Bucks then regained control on Daunte with frequent tags in their portion of the ring. Matt locked on a sharpshooter, then powerbombed Daunte onto his brother. The Bucks set up for the Meltzer driver. Daunte fought out and made a one-man comeback before reaching his brother for the hot tag. Darius comes in, hits clotheslines, and a standing Spanish fly. Nick broke up the tag. Darius hit a tope suicida, and then Daunte hit a tope con hero on both Bucks to the outside. Daunte barely made it up for a flip into a top rope Frankensteiner for a near fall. Matt avoided a dive and nailed the spear. Nick tagged in. Darius, he got taken out with a kick, and the Bucks hit a sliced bread powerbomb combination before Darius broke up the pin for Top Flight. Bucks went for more bang for your buck. Daunte countered into a crucifix for a great near fall, really just selling the aspect that these kids got it. The Bucks then hit the BTE trigger for the win, and the Young Bucks put a stamp on this match. Even in defeat, Top Flight looks great. And then after the match, we had TH2 come out and beat down Top Flight. So it looks like they are sticking around, and they got their first feud set up, which is great.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
You know,
that is awesome. They are green, you know, and people take that term, you know, it can be taken two different ways. If you come out and you show and you prove and you put on a nice show and somebody calls you green, that's a compliment, man. That's a compliment because you did that well and you still have a lot to go. You have a lot more to learn, so you're only going to get better.
Yeah, they definitely have the it factor. They're flashy. They're very athletic. They didn't really miss a beat with the Young Bucks. And them going up against the hybrid, I think that clash of styles is really going to bring out what they got, you know, as well. So I think that's going to be a great matchup for them.
Yeah, TH2 is going to make these guys look good all over again.
Yeah.
So, and they're going to give them their first win. So, I like it. I like where they're going with it already. They have a couple of good tag teams coming through Dark right now. So they still have what was it, Max Caster and the other guy.
Yeah, what are they? The Acclaimed, right?
The Acclaimed, yeah. I expect them to be on Dynamite any day.
The thing with tag team wrestling in AEW is it's somehow growing, and it really doesn't need to grow anymore. But, you know, with the Acclaimed probably making the jump to Dynamite in the next couple of months, and then you got Top Flight here getting a major debut on Dynamite. We got an Impact tag team on their way out of Impact, and they could be AEW bound if tweets from Ethan Page and Cody Rhodes are any indication about what's going on. We could inevitably see the North, Josh Alexander and Ethan Page, show up in AEW, and I think that would be fucking phenomenal. I think the North are, you know, yes, they're an Impact team. I'm not a big Impact fan, but if you talk about tag teams, man, I get vibes of how good the Revival were in NXT and how good the Revival are now. You put somebody like the North in AEW, man, they could easily rival the Young Bucks, the Lucha Brothers, and FTR for best tag team in AEW. Best tag team in the world if they let them go and do what they need to do. They could be on their way to AEW. Per PW Insider, Ethan Page's current deal is up at the end of December, and Page already posted a video on YouTube teasing a contract announcement, but instead he turned it into a comedy bit to kind of sell the fans on that for a little bit longer. He's a part of the North, like I said, with Josh Alexander. Page had 2 reigns with the Impact World Tag Team titles. The first was from July 2019 to July 2020 for 380 days, the longest single reign ever for that title. And the most recent was 21 days from October 24th to November 14th. Speaking of the longest reigns ever, PW Insider is also reporting that Taya Valkyrie's deal is coming up at the end of the month. Now, that's a very interesting situation. I do not think she goes to AEW because of John Morrison. I do think she ends up in WWE.
No, she will not. No.
Why?
Not even her fucking husband can. No way.
Why? You think she's
buried over there? She will not go over there. No way.
That's just my prediction on it. I don't know. I hope not. I was gonna get into that with the North. Hold on a sec. Valkyrie is a former Knockouts champion, obviously, from January 2019 to January 2020. That's 377 days. She's also married, like I said, to John Morrison. And as far as she goes, we don't know what's happening there. WWE doesn't need Taya Valkyrie. AEW definitely needs someone like Taya Valkyrie. But the thing with the North is, Jesse, you know, instead of, you know, being a tag team and contemplating, let's go to either WWE or AEW. At this stage of the game, I don't think Ethan Page and Josh Alexander are fucking stupid. I hope to God that they are looking at the landscape. If you are a tag team and this is where you make your money, this is your bread and butter, you want to excel in this field, there's so much more for you to do. Why would anyone go to WWE in the current climate right now? Even though AEW doesn't need the North, the opportunities for the North there would be tremendous. Yes, you might get lost in the shuffle in the beginning of just joining AEW. You got to work your way up, but everybody did that. But if you're a tag team, why wouldn't you go to AEW in this case? That's the decision that they have to make, and that is the best decision for both of them. No question.
If they go to WWE, they are exclusive and stuck in just WWE. Mm-hmm. They go to AEW, will they get lost in the shuffle? Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty good chance they're going to get lost in the shuffle at the start. But A, they're getting ready to launch a new show. B, AEW is letting people work other shows. So, and you can play video games in AEW. So you can continue your streaming and you can do work and you can work other promotions.
Imagine that in the contract. You can't play video games.
No video games be playing, and you could be at home, not streaming. They'll kick in your door and take your PlayStations, man. You cannot play video games working for
Vince McMahon personal SWAT team showing up to your fucking front door.
Kick it in.
So that's the situation there with the North. Taya Valkyrie. You think obviously we all know the best decision for her is to go to AEW, but you really do think that she goes to AEW if her contract really is up in December?
Yeah, man. It makes why would she go to WWE to be with her husband and then they can both be unhappy? He's telling her how unhappy he is. So why would
I would hope so. Over there? I would hope so.
Yeah, look, go to AEW. I'll meet you over there when I get out of this bullshit. So, no, he is not. He would not let her come there. I'll be shocked.
We'll see. But that is the news there. So we got some big free agents lingering out there. So Ty Valkyrie, the Nortessa, is still out there. So keep your eyes, you guys, peeled on what happens in the free agent market right now. AEW could be expanding, and that would only be a good thing. Las Vegas, the Inner Circle. I never thought I would need this in my life, and I thought this was fantastic. I knew it was going to be once it was announced. The Inner Circle partied in Las Vegas tonight. MJF had bought everybody tickets because he was inducted into the Inner Circle, so he thanked everybody and sent them all on his dime to Las Vegas. So MJF stole Sammy Guevara's cards when he had, or cards, not cars, 21 in blackjack. They were sitting at the blackjack table, and MJF somehow stole Sammy Guevara's cards because he thought he had blackjack. MJF had blackjack, but he realistically had Sammy's cards, so he screwed over Sammy. Guevara was upset, and he shot MJF an evil look at the blackjack table. MJF and Chris Jericho ordered drinks at the bar, and they got into a battle of the alcohol, countering each other's drinks. They went from top shelf all the way to the most dangerous and potent. So they ended up leading to a stalemate when they decided on Everclear. Now, I would never, A, and B, to the geeks out there that thought they drank Everclear tonight, no. Give me a break.
No.
So they
that was water.
Yeah. They did the shot of quote-unquote Everclear. They winced and they yelled and they looked like they were going to throw up. Son of a bitch, they both said. MJF told Jericho that Everclear was a bad choice. Jericho still couldn't talk. They were fumbling down the Vegas Strip. All of a sudden, we see them getting ready for the next phase of the evening, and they stand in front of a limousine, and out pops Conan, who recently had negative things to say about me on his show to One Disco Inferno. But he showed up, which was kind of funny. Showed up, and he said he's always got the best quote-unquote stuff. Conan says he thinks he sees a dragon. And then we seen Effie the dragon come up dressed as a dragon with his little dog. Sammy got drunk and told MJF, "I hate you, man." They shared a laugh. Jake Hager and Wardlow were staring at each other throughout this entire comedic segment. And they were taking turns smashing random people because they couldn't do it to each other because they're in the same group. And this was only part one of the Inner Circle's trip to Las Vegas. Jesse, what did you think of this? Was it too campy? Was it too comedic? Or did it hit the perfect spot with MJF and Jericho's sense of humor?
Well, the first thing I need to know is, before I comment on it, did Disco Inferno like it?
Probably not.
Okay, then I don't like it.
Probably not. No, because Disco Inferno's king, right?
Fucking Disco Inferno.
His opinion stands above all in the IWC.
This was awesome. I had to go back to catch MJF stealing Sammy's cards.
Yeah, I didn't see it at first glance either.
I missed it. I had to go back. He took him like right away. Sammy saw he had blackjack and put his cards down like an idiot to go over and tell Chris. And Max just said thanks and took his shit. That was awesome. That was fucking great, man. The whole segment was awesome. I mean, they just took the dynamic that they left us on the previous week and just continued it through 3 vignettes. So everybody else is still on the fence. Sammy don't like him. I mean, Jericho's trying to, playing both sides. This is perfect. They just made a whole comedic skit. Hager and Wardlow never took their eyes off of each other the whole skit. I loved it. This was funny as hell, man.
Yeah, this was very entertaining. And again, it just goes to show you how multi-talented both Jericho and MJF are, and they all have a sense of just comedic timing and talent, all of them. Even Wardlow and Jake Hager, I laughed at them just headbutting and punching random scrubs just to one-up each other. I thought this was great, and this was only the beginning of their evening, and then they had another segment in the show later on in the second hour. Jesse, I know you've seen this. They actually had a promotional vehicle for AEW air during the Sunday afternoon or Sunday night football games, and they showed an extended trailer to this commercial, the full-fledged commercial tonight on Dynamite. It was a History of the Revolution video for AEW Dynamite, being that we just now celebrated 1 year of Dynamite. It opened up with Nyla Rose smashing a car windshield with a sledgehammer, saying that she is transgender, she's a person of color, and she is right now an underdog because of these stereotypes in AEW. Then other AEW wrestlers spoke about being themselves and making their own characters. Matt said the system was broken, so it was time for a wrestling revolution. Cody says it's a wrestling show by wrestlers for the wrestling fans. And then Brandy, the other outspoken entity on this commercial, said, if this is year one, what will the rest of it look like? So they did a phenomenal job at this video package, this commercial, whatever you want to call it. And I told you while we were watching the show together via text that this is exactly the type of shit that we need to see from them. I hope we continue seeing this stuff moving forward. And I would love to see WWE do this, but they can't and they won't. And the reason why I love this so much is because it resonates with everybody watching the show. It's real. It's genuine. It's not something that comes across as forced. It's not fake. This is exactly their vision. And the reason why we all gravitate to this is because from day one, we all back this promotion, we all back this company, and they are still around, and even better now after 1 year because of, men like us, women like, all the women that signed up for AEW Heels, all the female fans out there that proudly support AEW. The fans are the vehicle for this promotion, and you'll never see WWE do something like this because I don't think they have it in themselves to be real and genuine. I thought this was fantastic.
There is quite a large number of wrestling fans that get disenfranchised with the product because of WWE and their terrible booking over the last 10 years or so. This commercial was aimed to bring back lapsed wrestling fans who get tired of the cheesy, campy WWE stories, and they're trying to expand to tell people that, hey, we're back and we're not WWE and we're legit and we can put on a big production show just like them and give fans what they actually want. So we know about them, me, you, and everybody listening to us know about them, but this commercial was awesome to try to bring those. You'll see that spot being aired over a lot of networks, I guarantee you. They got to get a hold of those fans and bring them back. And
well, listen, we seen this on Sunday Night Football. I don't know, depending on what market you guys are watching Raw, if you're watching Raw, but I seen it in New York on the USA Network. I seen it during Raw, which, I mean, that's got to be not cheap for Tony Khan to acquire that. And I don't know what WWE thinks about USA Network giving Tony Khan and AEW a spot on their fucking show on Monday night, but it's everywhere. It's been everywhere. Tony spent some big money to get this promotional vehicle out there.
He did. And you can tell, I mean, it was focused on bringing back lapsed fans, like I said, and it was also aimed at talent looking at this spot around the world, wondering if they should leave a comfortable paycheck to go take a chance somewhere else. With Rusev's final line, I even wrote it down right here. I think what he say? He said, if you don't believe in yourself, no one will. I mean, he's literally talking about himself and everybody else who've left WWE to take a chance over in AEW, and they're all happy right now and flourishing from it. Everybody. Nobody left saying, man, I should have stayed in WWE. Nobody.
No, I love that line myself personally. I thought that was great to close it off, and to have him do the voiceover for that, I think that was quite fitting. But I love this vignette, this video package. I think it just sums up everything in their vision and in their message beautifully. So Tony Khan did a great job with that. The Elite did a great job with that. It got AEW's message across very nicely. So we go from that to a pre-recorded promo of Jon Moxley. He says it's been a crazy-ass ride, and it's been 16 years, and finally the whole world makes sense to him now. He said his dad prepared him for this ride, and being AEW champion so long, he said, One day he was in town and he picked him up from a police station and he told him something that he'd never forget. He said his dad told him, and I quote, "Son, we are the good guys. No matter what's going on around you, we are the good guys." He said others have tried to lie, cheat, and steal the title from him, but he always knows what to do. He said his body feels like hell, and he has a pregnant wife at home and is holding 2 titles on 2 different continents with challengers coming at him from every which way. He says he knows what to do. He said later he's going to look Kenny Omega in the eye, shake his hand, and let him know that in no uncertain terms, that he is the best wrestler in the entire world. He said he is his father's son, and he is Jon fucking Moxley, and that will never change. When it comes down to it, Jesse, when the situation calls for it, and when it's this serious and this title's on the line in this manner, Moxley is a fucking great promo, and I think this hit on all levels to sell you on the importance of this title against Omega and the importance of the title, not only in that match, which I think is the biggest match in the history of AEW in the one in a couple of months that they've been around, but this shows you how important this title is to Jon Moxley. And when someone, reiterates all of that to you on how important the title is to him, it's important to everybody else. And that's why AEW stands above WWE when it comes to protecting their championships and why their championships are so much more valued and prestigious in All Elite Wrestling. It's promos like this from Jon Moxley.
Yeah, it's good to see Mox hit his stride, man. It's good to see him get the chance to cut promos like this, because look, if you think back to it in his run in WWE and the Shield and everything, he wasn't allowed to show this side of himself. Even if he was allowed to go out and cut the promo he wanted, it wouldn't make any sense, because if he goes out and cut these kind of deep promos and everything else and then have to go out there and do the ridiculous shit that he's being booked to do, it would all just come undone. It wouldn't make any fucking sense. The promo has to line up with your gimmick and what you're going out there and doing. You can't go out there and look like a fucking idiot and give promos like this backstage. So I think he did the best that he could with what he had to work with. But this gimmick, as he stands right now as champion and everything else, we're getting his best. Obviously, we're getting his best work of his career, but also it's the best promos of his career because of the best work of his career.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. He did mention that he has 2 titles on 2 continents. And he's talking about the IWGP United States Championship. I don't know what his situation is with Wrestle Kingdom coming up in January. I believe he might be on the show, but I have not heard any indication. Neither is Meltzer. Meltzer would know more than anybody that he would be on that show. Right now, he's not listed for the show. I'm assuming he's going to be on the show, being that he's the IWGP United States Champion. But during Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer confirmed that Moxley has not asked for any time off from AEW in order to work Wrestle Kingdom. So for everybody out there that's insinuating that the reason why this match with Omega is happening on December 2nd is for him to lose the championship to Omega so that he could go to Japan and, do his obligations over there as the United States champion, he has not asked for time off yet, according to Meltzer, and I do think Meltzer has a good track record with everything going on in AEW, being that everybody thinks he's on the fucking payroll. So if there's somebody out there like him saying it, I'm going to take it as to be legitimate. So he has not asked for time off to work Wrestle Kingdom. This would require additional time off due to Japan's strict quarantine upon arrival policy. Now, Meltzer says this, and I quote, he would have to miss the December 30th show, so he would have to miss one show. What I can tell you is that as of this week, no. As far as Tony Khan, he has not asked for that date. He could ask for the date, but Moxley has not asked Tony for that date. The fact that they made this match on December 2nd, and it was Tony Khan's call, means that it 100% has nothing to do with the Tokyo Dome. Now, could he ask to work the Tokyo Dome? Absolutely. End quote. There's still a lot of unanswered questions here in this situation. New Japan might be holding off to bring Moxley back until it's safe to do so. We don't know what their situation is on what they want to do with him yet. The pandemic obviously is throwing a wrench into everybody's plans, especially Jon Moxley, as he planned to travel over there because it's one of the things he wanted to do when he left WWE, but he had to remain. Now, Meltzer also mentioned the ratings for AEW dropped off significantly in November and December last year. And I did not forget about that as well. There were some issues with their booking, which Tony Khan took control over after that, soon thereafter. The thought is that Moxley versus Omega, taking place on December 2nd, is to give Dynamite a boost going into the final month of the year to rectify whatever happened last year. This will hopefully revitalize whatever program they have going into 2021, and then obviously as they set up for Revolution in the end of February. Now, what do you think of this situation, Jesse? Is this something that you could see Moxley doing, going over to Japan? Do you think, in your honest opinion, he would ask for that time to go over there? Or is it a situation where New Japan might not use him just to be safe?
I think that AEW knows that they're dealing with the most engaged and in tune fan base in any form of entertainment today. Meaning, we all know that Moxley holds that U.S. title. We all know that Wrestle Kingdom's coming up. So if it gets too far along that he needs to go over there, he needs to quarantine, he needs to drop that title, it's going to make this big match with Kenny way too predictable.
Yeah. And
people say Meltzer's on the payroll. I thought that was assumed. I mean, I didn't know that was even questioned. The top tag team in the company named their finisher after him. The guy was at every StarCast event, with the whatever. Meltzer is known for perpetrating the kayfabe. So he's another tool that they use to keep that doubt out there. Because bottom line is, I don't care what they try to justify it as, there's no reason on the planet to set this matchup in a normal Wednesday night. This could be the best match of the year for the whole company, and they want to give it away on free TV. I don't think they're doing it because they want to. I think they're doing it because they have to, timing-wise, and what they want to do with that title and what Moxley has to do going forward.
Now, I mentioned on last week's show when I did it solo, I tweeted Boss Man Tony Khan about the match on December 2nd, which, again, I will say, I think this is the biggest match that they will put on in the young history of AEW. This is easily the biggest match that Dynamite has ever had, and it's going to be the AEW World Championship match that we all kind of anticipated for months as far as Jon Moxley's reign is concerned. Do you think that I am heading in the right direction when I say that this match should be commercial free?
It should be. It should be. And I mean, look, I try to think as a realist, man. I mean, we want all the big matches to be commercial free.
Yes.
We all do. I mean, but at the same time, I'm not the one trying to keep that business afloat, Going commercial free for a match seems like it's a little bit more expensive than we think it is. So if they don't, I get it. If they can, that'd be great. I'm not anticipating it. I don't see why they would. I mean, I understand why they should, but I don't see why they would. But I mean, look, it's live TV, man. It's network TV. This is what we get. It's a part of it. So this is why we wanted it at a pay-per-view and not on TV.
Do you think that the match is happening too soon, or is this exactly what you would have booked personally for Moxley and Omega? Do you think that the people complaining about it on social media, it should have waited till Revolution, that's 3.5 months of build that you're asking AEW to do, which is, very capable. They are very capable of doing that, but, you got to have a little pit stop on this road trip. Why go the distance and just drive all the way straight through the night? Why not stop at a fancy hotel and have yourself a nice bubble bath and a nice fucking glass of champagne and a nice sleep, right? Let's get the pit stop, and then we'll just take it from there, hit the road again after December 2nd.
Kenny versus Moxley is not a pit stop, man. It's the destination. It's the destination.
So you think that this is a one and done deal?
It should be. It's not gonna be a one and done deal. I mean, no. But do I expect a best out of 65 series right about now? No, not at all. But this should. I get it. I would have built to this too to the next pay-per-view. But I also know that they must be putting it up, moving it ahead for a reason. So let's see what it is. But yeah, I'm in agreement, man. I don't think 3.5, 4 weeks, or even 2 months is too long for AEW to build a match like this up. I'm not even convinced that they're scared to do it. I know they can do it, and they know they can do it. I think they're doing this for a reason. I think it's because Moxley has to get rid of that title.
Well, we'll see. They did something tonight that I didn't really expect them to do as far as the contract signing goes. So clearly, we're being set up for some nefarious nonsense happening on December 2nd. Now we got the title match. Now on top of that, the caveat is, why didn't Moxley come out for the contract signing? Who laid him out in the back? You know, let the list of people start flowing on social media.
He wasn't even in the building tonight, was he?
No, he was. No. I know who you're talking. No, he was not in the building.
I don't think so. So he's been kind of MIA from live shows as of late. He popped up once in the last few weeks.
Yep. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's getting drunk somewhere.
Yeah.
I wish I was with him, especially on Monday.
Well, we find out what he's been doing tonight.
Well, we might have found out what he's been doing, but why he's been doing what he's been doing, I don't know. But
you see Renee Young? What are you talking about, man?
Well, we'll see. We'll get to it when we get to the contract signing. But moving on, we got Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian. Orange Cassidy was with the Best Friends. Kip Sabian was with Penelope Ford. Miro was on commentary. It was Sabian early on here. I didn't really care too much about this because I just don't care about what's going on with Miro and Kip Sabian. I think Orange Cassidy has been phenomenal this year. If you talk about one of the breakout stars in AEW, it's been Orange Cassidy. The Best Friends have had a very good 2020 for themselves as well. I just can't find anything redeeming about Kip Sabian right now. Penelope Ford's probably star of this entire trio. Miro, I do think that they are not going about booking him in the right way. Maybe this is a really, really slow burn, and they have other plans in place for him in 2021. They just wanted to get his feet wet, but he's not looking good out of the gate here in AEW. But Sabian and Cassidy, this went about 11 minutes. Cassidy was doing the whole putting his hands in his pockets deal, and Sabian prevented him from doing that. He controlled Cassidy with a side headlock. Cassidy made his hands in his pockets come back at a drop kick and a tope suicida. Ford on the outside tried to stop Cassidy from getting back in the ring, and Sabian took advantage with a kick and a gutbuster, and Ford taunted Cassidy on the floor as Sabian continued beating him down. They fought on the top rope before Cassidy pushed Sabian off and landed a crossbody. Cassidy missed a diving DDT. He was able to hit a reverse DDT. Sabian rolled to the outside to avoid an orange punch and stumbled on a springboard. They kind of balanced themselves back, and Sabian hit a brainbuster and then a punt kick for a 2. Michinoku driver followed for a near fall by Sabian. Cassidy countered out of a swinging neckbreaker with an inside krill. Then he locked in his mousetrap pinfall maneuver, and that was it. We got Orange Cassidy surprising Kip Sabian there with the mousetrap roll-up. Miro, who was on commentary, ran down to the ring, and he jumped the ropes. He laid out Cassidy with a brutal lariat. Best Friends chased him away with Sabian, and that was it. Looks like we could be getting a tag team match again between these two. I don't know what's going on here, Jesse. What do you make of this? Do you care? Kip Sabian, Miro, talk to me.
No, this whole Kip Sabian deal, this has no good ending for Miro.
No.
He can't even turn on Kip and get over. He would have to beat up Penelope Ford to actually get over in a turn against these guys. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. Kip can't turn on Miro. That's gonna go nowhere. I don't know where they go with this.
I don't know where they go. Do you care where they go with this is the better question.
Yeah, no, they can't. They can't get him out of this clean to try to fix this. He's the best man. He's with Kip, and nobody cares. So I don't know what their plan is, but this was an epic fail.
Yeah, this was not good at all. Well, the match was fine. It's just I don't care. And Miro, the guy could be doing so much better on Dynamite, but he's stuck in this fucking Nothing storyline. Just do the wedding already and have him fucking turn on Kip and then just end it, you know? Cut your losses here and just move on. That's what I say.
I don't even care. Him turning on Kip does what? Turn Kip into a baby face? That's stupid.
I don't know what the wedding, you know, I'm not a big fan of wedding storylines or wedding segments on TV. We could be looking at one here with Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian, with Miro possibly turning. If that's the route that they're going, we could see Aaliyah and fucking Buddy Murphy, which I'm assuming is going to be the thing on SmackDown, with Buddy Murphy turning on the Mysterio family. You know why? I don't know.
I disagree with you here. I like a good wrestling wedding, man.
Do you?
We haven't had a good one in a long time. I don't count that.
Well, I mean, that's what turned me off. You know, it could be good if you don't got fucking Bobby Lashley and Lana, and then Lesbian Liv come out. But I digress. It is what it is.
Love wrestling weddings, man.
We got
Triple H and Stephanie's best one ever.
Yeah, I know. They'll never be able to do anything that good again. But yeah, I
God, that was so fucking awesome, man.
Let's check the live stream, man. What do we got going on here? We got 1,000 in the chat. Typical for a Wednesday night, man. Usually the after effects of the live stream are a lot better than the live show. But Hoot Media, I know my analyst Hoot Media is in the chat. Hoot Media, are we number one tonight, bro? Let me know. And by how many? My analyst Hoot Media is in the chat. I'm sure they'll be sending me the analytics.
Edgar, I saw, man. I saw the Walmart deal. Everybody knows about Walmart. Nobody's gonna get one from Walmart tomorrow. I mean, but I'll be there. I mean, but no, it's not gonna work.
No, I mean, listen, the PS5, you guys are probably best from staying away from it right now. You know, don't let it break your heart if you don't get one, because there's a lot of issues.
Don't go to a scalper. Do not go to a scalper.
Don't.
It'll be out, guys. Be patient.
Don't go through a scalper. I see some of the fucking systems selling for, I think something.
$1,800.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Dude.
It's fucking ridiculous.
$1,800 on Amazon right now.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Don't get gypped off, guys. Don't fucking fuel their bloodthirsty desire for money, please.
If nobody buys them, they will quit doing this shit, dude. Don't buy them.
Yeah, let them sit on their fucking 26 PS5s. Come on.
Yep.
Hoot Media says we're number one, man. Almost 300 people plus leading the IWC. We need more likes, he says. So let's get them likes up, guys. 750 is the goal. We are at 457 right now. So let's do it because Hoot Media said so. Moving on here, man. Tony Schiavone in the middle of the ring set up the contract signing between Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. Justin Roberts introduced Kenny Omega as someone similar to Moxley with his accolades, but additional accolades that Moxley doesn't have. Two women came out in 1980s style leotards and danced with brooms, the cleaner woman. Omega then came out actually dressed up in a suit and a tie. So he came out, Omega, or did he have the tie? I wasn't really sure. Usually when I see a suit, I automatically assume there's a tie. Maybe Kenny doesn't like a tie. I don't like a tie with a suit. But he came out looking good. That's all I know. Omega kept sunglasses on after sitting down at the table, so he pulled a dick maneuver by wearing sunglasses, even when he doesn't have to. Moxley was introduced next. Ross says he'll be a proud papa very soon. Moxley didn't come out. And then Jim Ross says we got news emanating from the back where two referees, a trainer, and Jerry Lynn were checking on Moxley. He was laid out on the floor backstage with a bloody nose. The trainer says they had to get him out of there and on a stretcher. So Schiavone asked Omega for comments. Omega says he's not one for this psychology type stuff, but to him it looks like a bloody nose. He says he's not going to avoid him. He said December 2nd is coming, and he will be there, and he hopes Moxley will be there too. He flipped to the back page of the contract. The pen didn't work. Then the pen worked. He signed the contract, and then Ross says everybody will be updated if they hear anything on Moxley's condition. And Omega just came across as if he didn't care what happened to Jon Moxley at all. Very bizarre segment. I didn't really anticipate them going that route. I fully expected them to have a face-to-face sit-down confrontation here. AEW has hit a home run in the past with these contract signings. What do you make of this, Jesse? And are you thinking the same thing that I'm thinking? Adam Page is involved.
Gotta be. Did we even see him tonight?
No, he was not there.
No, yeah, he was. He was killing Moxley. Yeah, definitely.
Well,
definitely
the last time we
Hangman.
seen him, Omega was actually helping the Bucks, and he stood in the tunnel. Now, a lot of people maybe didn't see him, but, I mean, we seen him. He was standing in the tunnel drinking a cold beverage, and he didn't come out to aid the Young Bucks. In their, I guess they were getting beat down by somebody. I don't remember who it was, but they were in the ring. Omega came out to make the save, and Page just stood there. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, it's gotta be Page. So now what do we learn here? So if that was Page, and he's out to get back at Kenny, does Kenny lose?
I don't know. I mean, what he's out to get back at Kenny. That would be my first thing, but it doesn't really give that away here in this segment. Moxley got laid out, so what would the psychology here be on Adam Page to take out Moxley? Maybe he doesn't want Omega to have the title match?
Yeah, if he doesn't go out and sign a contract, he can't have a title match.
There you go. That could be a situation.
No, could be it. Moxley finds out, gets pissed, triple threat in my hands. Who knows?
I could see that. Maybe they don't want to beat Moxley?
Maybe it turns into a triple threat and somebody stays clean. Maybe Kenny stays clean. Maybe Moxley stays. This is interesting. But if Hangman gets involved there, he's definitely eating an L in that match.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so.
For sure. I mean, it's fine. I mean, he can afford it, and it's an L worth taking out of those three guys, but he's definitely eating an L from that one now.
Yeah, this is very interesting. The first guy that I thought about was Page. So, again, even after they've lost those tag team titles and we've seen them split and they ended up facing each other, which I thought was a fantastic match at the pay-per-view, there's still the most intriguing thing as far as storylines go on Dynamite. And I have not been excited about a match, I think, all year. And I really feel like I'm excited about this one because of the legitimacy of Moxley's reign, of the importance of the AEW title, and I think this is going to be something that we all look back on and say, you know what? This was a damn good fucking match, and the storyline building here with Omega and Page is just going to lead to yet another extension of all this because inevitably they're going to be one-on-one, and I think that's going to be for the title, and that's the inevitable title match between those two guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, and we're looking at a feud filled with long-term storytelling. Man, we always complain and talk about how feuds don't get enough long-term storytelling, and we're getting it right now with Omega and Hangman. So we can't complain about this, man. This is, I mean, it has to be Hangman. I mean, if it's not, then they're gonna add another element to this whole ordeal. So it's got to be Hangman.
Yeah. I don't know who else it could be. We will find out. We got a couple of weeks till this match happens. Does it happen? Does it not happen? We will see on Dynamite, man. Very, very intriguing stuff. Let me know what you guys think about that down below in the comments. If you're watching this video after the fact, let me know what you guys think it could be and who attacked Jon Moxley. We go to the second part of the Inner Circle partying together and getting wasted in Vegas. This was very hangover-esque. They were joined by an Elvis impersonator, and he was in an Elvis suit. MJF was stumbling drunk. He said he always considered himself a lone wolf, right out of the Hangover playbook here. But he found himself in a wolf pack, and he loves them like blood brothers. So Sammy pulls out a knife, and he was going to cut himself and initiate the blood ritual with the Inner Circle, but the rest of the Inner Circle yelled at him not to do so. Elvis told him, Sammy, calm the fuck down, please. Elvis, of all fucking people, telling Sammy Guevara to calm down. MJF says it's a full moon, so he wants to howl, and he howled like Shotzi Blackheart. The others joined in, and they cut to a camera on Jericho in the morning, the next morning, and he was hungover. He was in bed. He got up from bed, and in the bed with him was the Elvis impersonator. They were still fully dressed, thank Christ. Jericho dropped a bottle of gin because he was drinking gin all night, and he said, gross. Then MJF got up out of a bathtub. He was sleeping in the bathtub with a pillow. So he got up, he drunkenly fell over himself, and he wandered into the other room where Sammy Guevara was sleeping in a water fountain. Legitimately sleeping in a water fountain. So he pulled himself out of the water, and he said, MJF told Sammy, you know, you look messed up there, kid, or whatever. You look messed up there, pal. What are you doing? And then Sammy looks up at MJF and says, oh, yeah? Well, at least I'm not soft. And then all over MJF's face, Sammy obviously wrote on him while he was passed out, blacked out, drunk. Sammy was here, and then he wrote soft all over MJF's face. MJF obviously did not see it. That's why Sammy alluded to that, because it was all over his face. So Santana was working out. He was already up. I don't know if he was drugged up. Looked like he was on speed. So, or it was Ortiz. Ortiz was working out, lifting some dumbbells. He had a white shirt on that said bride. There were giant photos of Sammy in this hotel room. Apparently, he got married, and he got married 3 times because he was photographed with his 3 new wives. Who they were, I don't know. So Ortiz says, oh, man, I always wanted a Mormon friend. And then we cut away to Santana, who was feeding chickens in one of the other rooms in the hotel, throwing some chicken feed or some chips to the fucking chickens. So Jericho and Ortiz wandered around, and all of a sudden they hear this crying from the other room. And they open the door, and it's fucking Hornswoggle crying in a hotel bedroom by himself in a fucking diaper. And then Jericho yelled, guys, I think we've got a problem. Now, this was very Hangover-esque. You know, usually we shit on WWE for their love of Batman references, whether it's incorporating a Batman, you know, piece into someone's gimmick or using a fucking phrase or whatever from a Batman movie, dressing Moxley up like Bane, or taking Alexa Bliss and turning her into Harley Quinn, or whatever the fucking case may be. Or taking Teabag and putting him in fucking masks and having him look like a fucking Batman villain, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, you can always tell what movies Vince watched over the weekend, what he saw for the first time, you know.
Yeah, or it might be Vince or Bruce, who the fuck knows. But clearly you get the taste of these guys and their movie, you know, loves, movie passions. This was clearly right out of The Hangover. I kind of thought to myself, well, they're doing Vegas, and I could see them maybe doing some Hangover-like skits, and that's exactly what they thought. I didn't really mention it on the show. I was thinking it to myself while thinking about this Las Vegas partying shit with the Inner Circle. But listen, you know, it was cheesy, but it wasn't bad. It was funny. It was entertaining. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to love it. You're going to hate it. At the end of the day, I think all of us can say it was entertaining. It was entertaining.
Here's my take from it. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was funny and everything else. I just hope something comes from it. This is what I mean. So like next week, I don't want there just to be another chapter of us trying to find out what's going on with MJF getting into Inner Circle. Next week, I want to see something, I don't know, something along the lines of, hey, while you guys were drunk and passed out, I got Jericho to sign over leadership of the Inner Circle to me. You know, so I'm the leader in the Inner Circle. I mean, something has to come of it. You know, just can't be, oh, we went to Vegas last week because we had nothing else to do. You know, what happened? What was the outcome of it?
Well, listen, you know, you might be alluding to something there because, you know, when someone is drunk, you do and say some stupid shit, right? So maybe that is a situation where Jericho and MJF, you know, they acted like best pals here. And maybe in one of these instances that we didn't see, you know, Jericho told MJF something, or, you know, MJF coerced Jericho to sign some papers while he was drunk. Maybe MJF reveals that he wasn't drunk at all, you know, something along those lines. But I could definitely see something like that happening. But, you know, to go back to your other question, I do think this is leading to something. And I do think that Sammy Guevara and MJF are kind of alluding to a battle of some sorts, you know, some dissension there. I see Sammy Guevara breaking away from the Inner Circle eventually and becoming a babyface. That's what I think the result of this is going to be.
Yeah, I can see that. I could definitely see it. I mean, I just hope something comes from it. Otherwise, I'm gonna look back this next week and say, well, what was the point of it? I mean, it was funny, but what was the point? You know, they got a vacation to Vegas. Obviously, that was kind of cool.
Well, the point is to me that they gotta show everybody watching the show that there is camaraderie between the Inner Circle, that they all have different personalities and they are all getting along. They want you to think that they're all getting along now for the inevitable what the fuck is going on. Is the Inner Circle going to disband because of MJF now being in the group?
Yeah, but they're not getting along. So that's why I hope something comes of it. Like, I wanted to try to show we were getting along, but then looks like we're not. But turns out I had ulterior motives. So this is what I was really doing. So I just want to see what it was he was really doing, because otherwise this was just funny just to be funny. Otherwise, I mean, but what was it for? MJF is the kind of guy to have a plan. Like you said, maybe he wasn't drunk. Maybe he did drug everybody with roofies and everything else, but otherwise, what was the point of it? You know, it's not just to go to Vegas because he wanted to spend money on the crew. Why did he really do it?
I don't know. Hopefully we do find something out there. The doors are certainly open for something like that happening. But Jericho was actually live on Dynamite tonight. He joined the announcers after this skit played. It was obviously pre-taped. He said his head was still pounding, and it's like Ross and the Four Horsemen partying it up in Greensville, South Carolina in 1986. He said he and Hager next week have a match with Kazarian and Daniels. So I don't know where that's going, why that's a thing. Is Jericho and Hager going to be a tag team? Are they going to vie for the tag team titles? I mean, where do you see Jericho and Hager going? Because that was a thing, and then they stopped it, and now it's a thing again.
Nah, they're not going for the titles. They probably just want to plug them into a situation here or there, but they're not going for the titles. No, not at all. Inner Circle already has a tag team, and, you know, it's Pride and Powerful. Well, the Lucha Bros and Pride and Powerful gonna be going at it soon. But yeah, Pride and Powerful is the tag team for Inner Circle. But yeah, they don't. Jericho and Hager they have teamed, but I wouldn't put them as a team. So no.
Yeah. We'll keep a close eye on this. Something definitely is going to come of MJF being in the Inner Circle. Right now, it's all sunshine and rainbows, and the vodka and the alcohol is flowing. And then sooner or later, it's going to be everybody hates each other's guts. It's going to be great. We got the Blade with the Butcher and the Bunny versus a returning Pac. This was very good. This was a very good match. I mentioned and alluded to in the beginning of the show, Pac has been out for 8 months. He was stuck overseas, could not travel due to travel restrictions because of COVID-19. 8 months away, and this motherfucker, man, he looks like he didn't miss a goddamn week. This is why he is the anti-hero that everybody just adores. Pac is fucking awesome, and I'm glad he's back on Dynamite. You could just get the sense that the show is so much better with Pac, that he brings a sense of legitimacy to me, in my honest opinion, that a lot of people just can't bring, and I'm glad to see him back. Eddie Kingston was on the commentary table with everybody else. Pac and Blade went at it. Pac landed a running dropkick at the belly, landed a top rope shotgun dropkick a minute later. Then he got in Butcher's face at ringside. Blade slide kicked him and threw him into the ringside barricade. He was on the offensive attack for a little bit. Pac made a comeback with a top rope superplex, which looked beautiful, scored a near fall. Kingston on commentary noted that used to be Barry Windham's finisher. Pac climbed onto the ring apron and distracted Pac. Butcher then entered and Pac super kicked him down. Blade rolled up Pac with this slight distraction, hooked the trunks, and only got a 2 count. Pac landed a shooting star press on the back of Blade. He didn't go for the Black Arrow. Could have, but he went for a shooting star press because Pac knows that the Black Arrow is what everybody wants to see, but fuck everybody else. And then he hits the shooting star press into the brutalizer, and Blade taps out. After the match, Pac grabbed a microphone and began yelling at Eddie Kingston at the announce table. Butcher attacked Pac from behind. He forgot about the big man. Kingston walked up to Pac and got up off the announce table and said, he's about to find out what kind of tough bastard he really is after putting him through the gauntlet. Ray Phoenix then ran into the ring. He leapt into the ring and slipped into the carnage that was happening at Pac, or on Pac at ringside there in the ring. He went after and tried to save him. He went after Kingston, Blade, and Butcher. He was beaten down. And Pentagon came out with a steel chair in hand. He wound up going after Kingston. Everybody was wondering, is he going to attack his brother? Is he going to join Kingston? Kingston's been saying Pentagon's his best friend. He went after Eddie Kingston, and then Kingston bailed out with Butcher and Blade. Shivani said it looks like the Death Triangle is back. Phoenix and Pentagon helped pack up, and they were reunited in the ring. Jesse, this is going to be a very entertaining feud. The Death Triangle versus Kingston and Butcher and Blade. We could get a one-on-one match out of this with Kingston and Pac as well. We could get the Lucha Brothers versus Butcher and Blade. We got a lot of good combinations of matches here in the coming weeks. This is going to be a very entertaining feud, and this is a feud that just logistically makes sense with the return of Pac to Dynamite.
I think Pac missed a couple of spots. I know you said he had missed the beat. I think he was meant to do that Black Arrow, but it looks like he second-guessed himself up there.
Well, he always does the same thing. He always gets up there and he like tries to topple. I honestly think at this point he just does it on purpose because of you know, for whatever reason, you know. But I don't think he was meant to go for the Black Arrow there.
I know what you mean. He does have that little, but don't forget the other hesitation he had when he did the superplex. They were up there for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that I did notice. Yeah.
I mean, but look, I'm not trying to look. If you need to be sure, fucking wait and take your time, man. I mean, you can drop somebody on their fucking neck, so I'm not complaining about it. I mean, if he needed the extra moment, take the extra moment. But I think he was overly cautious. And the reason I say he was probably going to go for that Black Arrow is because they turned him babyface at the end of it. So the Black Arrow into the finish and then the heel beat down on him, I think would have played all at the same time. So I'm taking in the play, the pause on the superplex, the pause on the Black Arrow, what I thought was going to be the Black Arrow. Granted, he has had that pause in the past, but he turned babyface seconds later. So I'm thinking that he just said, you know what, I'm going to play this shit safe. This is my first night back. I'm going to want to botch this shit.
Yeah.
And he did the safer move, which fine, makes sense because he had a finish, he had a submission hold to go in right into afterwards. So it's perfectly fine. But this was a real soft, subtle babyface turn for him. So I was looking for that Black Arrow a few seconds ago that he skipped on. But nonetheless, man, I mean, it's good to have him back. And I think they were holding off on those trios titles to get Death Triangle back. They're probably the odds-on favorite to be the first holders of them.
You know, the more we talk about it, the more I get excited about it. The more I see these trios teams forming in AEW, the more I get excited about it. I think it's about time we do it. You know, Lucha Underground did it well, and I think AEW, with the amount of talent that they have, I think they could do it well as good as anybody.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, man. I mean, get that FTW title, the fudge out of here, man, and bring those trios titles in. I think it's gonna be awesome.
What is awesome is to see Thunder Rosa back on AEW television. I'm sure this is going to be a topical discussion tonight after what we watched on Dynamite.
Let's talk about
constructive criticism, man. I'm a big fan of Thunder Rosa. I think what she brings is exactly what this division needs. You know, she's possibly rubbed some people the wrong way with some things that she's done and some things that she said. But despite all that's going on, we got, and yes, thank you, Adobe. Thank you. 3 updates are available. Thank you. If you guys heard that in the chat, whatever.
There you go.
We got Thunder Rosa. No matter what is going on with Thunder Rosa, she brings a sense of legitimacy to AEW. Now, Jesse was watching Dark last night, and we're going to go back to this Evil East thing, which is a dead issue, but Jesse seems to be having it have another life, taking on another life here with Thunder Rosa and Evil East. We were watching Dark last night. He watched it, and then he told me, go back and watch these 2 enhancement matches. It was Evil East versus some unknown that's been on Dark maybe once before, and then we got Thunder Rosa versus, what was her name? I forgot. Snow. Lindsay Snow. Lindsay Snow, right? Who, by the way, was not good at all. I thought she was terrible. So it is what it is. But, you know, I got a different opinion on this. Jesse has a different opinion as to what I have, which is good. You know, I don't want somebody on the show that's going to agree with everything I say anyway. But I watched Evil East, and Evil East sold for this enhancement talent, made her look really good in defeat. Ivelisse obviously got the victory. This enhancement talent got some nice offense in on Ivelisse. Ivelisse was selling and really just going to work there and putting her over in defeat. Fine. Then we watched Thunder Rosa, and I'm watching Thunder Rosa against Lindsay Snow, and Jesse says, watch Thunder Rosa's match and tell me what the difference is between this match and what you just seen with Ivelisse. And it was immediate. I knew what he was talking about. And Thunder Rosa, even in defense or even on defense, she always was on offense. You know, Thunder Rosa in every single instance, no matter what, when Lindsay Snow tried to at least get some offense, which in my honest opinion, I don't think she should have gotten any offense, period, because she's not there at that level. And Thunder Rosa has a title match on Wednesday night and will be in title contention, you know, as long as she's in that company, in that division. But always in defense, she was always on offense in every sense of the word. And Thunder Rosa didn't really enhance Lindsay Snow, or we didn't really get a good glimpse as to what Lindsay Snow could bring to the table, because Thunder Rosa kind of swallowed the entire match up whole. So I don't really find it to be an issue. But Jesse, what were you dissecting last night? And tell everybody why you thought Ivelisse put over her opponent so much better than Thunder Rosa did.
Here's the thing, and we touched on this like almost every week when I mentioned Dark. The MO on Dark, the layout is the enhancement talents. They get entrances, they get featured by commentary, a little bit of their past and everything else. You don't just come out, get pinned, and leave and on Dark. The enhancement talent gets a second to kind of get themselves over, get their name out there, get their moveset in, and they can take that experience back to the indies and make a few extra bucks on the independent bookings. Now, I understand what you're saying as far as Thunder Rosa having a title match coming up and needing to look strong, and she's just an enhancement talent and everything else. But nonetheless, this is consistent with almost every Thunder Rosa match. She does in a couple of seconds, even in a rest hold. If you notice, when Ivelisse and Thunder Rosa had their match, commentary was constantly saying things like, oh man, this is a big back and forth, no one's letting down. That's because every time Ivelisse tried to go on offense, Thunder Rosa had to try to counter it, so it was always counter move, counter move, counter move. Same thing here tonight. Commentary said it again. These two are going back and forth. Yeah, because Thunder Rosa does not like staying on defense very long. Not at all. So it's not just this match and this situation with Thunder Rosa having a title match coming up. That wasn't the point. The point was this happens in every match that she does. I went back and watched crap with her and Piper Niven. I watched all kinds of old Thunder Rosa matches, man. And every match, she does not made to look like she is weak. Even if she's going to lose the match, she has to put herself over before she takes the pin. Now, in that situation, in that instance, if Ivelisse was going to be taking the pin for you, Ivelisse is not an enhancement talent. Ivelisse is not a jobber. Ivelisse is one of the best in her division, in any division that she steps into. And she agreed to take a loss for you. It is your responsibility to make your opponent, as is being Ivelisse, look really, really, really good. You have to make her look like she is a superstar, especially if you know you're going to beat her, because it makes yourself look better. So you can't just hog the match, and that's why Ivelisse got disappointed. She just gave up and stopped caring. That's what that big gif of her no-selling that corner spot. I don't blame her. I'm not here to lay down for you and make you look good. We're here to make each other look better, and I'm agreeing to put you over. And I don't think Thunder Rosa sees that.
All right, so what did you think of the match tonight? I mean, did it kind of, I guess, contradict what you're saying with Thunder Rosa tonight, because she had a very good match with Serena Deeb? I thought it was the best match of the night, in my honest opinion, and I thought both ladies killed it. And Thunder Rosa was on defense because there was some really good mat-based back and forth between both women, and then Deeb got Thunder Rosa on defense, and she got a dragon screw leg whip in the ropes, and Thunder Rosa wasn't long, but that was the story of the match, and that was Serena Deeb's opening for a comeback. Did she give you enough on defense tonight And was there enough of a story to maybe kind of have you take a step back from your initial thoughts?
Tonight's match with Deeb, I've seen Thunder Rosa pretty much give up the most as far as going on defense. But even that being said, you can tell she reversed out of it way too much. Again, commentary again in this match saying how these guys, are going back and forth because Deeb finds herself constantly having to reverse and to counter and to. She doesn't even like staying in chin locks. I see Thunder Rosa get put in a rest hold, a legit rest hold, reverse it just to put her opponent in the same rest hold, and so she can sit there on top for a minute. I mean, just what is her problem with selling? I mean, she just hates selling. I know she's not scared to bump, so it's not like a thing that she doesn't want to bump. It's just a matter of she doesn't like her opponent getting too much in on hers. So I don't know what it is about her, but this is not just a one match thing.
I don't know, man. I'm wondering, Thunder Rosa has, I'm very fortunate to have Thunder Rosa be following me on Twitter. Okay, because maybe she's heard of the podcast. Maybe she knows somebody in the company that knows the podcast that says, hey, you should listen to these two guys. They love you. That guy JD thinks you're fucking great. He's always got a positive thing to say about you. What would you tell her if she's listening to the show tonight?
Well, now I see why you have your different opinion about Thunder Rosa.
No. Don't turn that on me like that.
Come on. Now. We can wait until the stream is over and we end the live stream, and you can tell me how you really feel about Thunder Rosa.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I've seen exactly what you were talking about, but I don't think it's a big deal to a point where you have to have it be this thing where it's got to, go from this incubation process and now it's some big blown up fucking conspiracy theory. Maybe Tony Khan is thinking, hey, I want to keep her strong because we're going to bring her on in when all is said and done and she's going to be my number one.
Was Tony Khan
if she's going to be a number one,
booking the match with her and Piper Niven that I saw too?
Where was this? I don't know. I don't know anything about Piper Niven. I don't know. Every
match that I've seen them do, she does the same thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Maybe Tony Khan thinks that she's going to be in sooner rather than later, and he's already kind of made it, right? She's going to be my number one. She has to look and feel like a number one. She definitely looks and feels like a number one, right?
And why'd you bring her in to lose to Deeb?
This is not, this is more of an NWA thing.
Okay. Then she gets beat down by Britt Baker. Look, man, they've already put her in the Divas division, which I'm happy about. What are you
talking about? Divas division? What are you talking about?
She is in the Divas division. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. So her next feud, she can spend it over there hanging out with her dentist, and they can leave the champions and the real wrestlers alone. So I'm good with this one. This is a good move. I like it.
Maybe Tony Khan thinks, like I said, this is going to be my number one. She has to look and feel like a number one. Britt Baker's been incubating for far too long. We'll put her in there against Thunder Rosa. She's not going to go over Thunder Rosa. Maybe she looks good against Thunder Rosa and she kind of moves up from one rung to the next rung or a couple of rungs. Maybe he believes in Thunder Rosa so much to take Britt Baker to a point where she needs to be, and she hasn't been because she's either been hurt or she hasn't been good enough. Maybe she will be good enough in the ring with Rosa.
Yeah, okay. Look, look, Thunder Rosa does not suck, all right? I don't think that she's a bad wrestler by any means. I think she's phenomenal in the ring. So please don't get it twisted. I just think she's a little selfish when calling her matches. That's all. She's awesome in the ring. Let's get that straight. I don't think she can't wrestle. I just think she's a little selfish when she's calling her matches. That's all.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Charlotte is selfish when she's booking herself the way she did this year.
Very.
Very. I know a thing or eight about selfish women in pro wrestling. It's not that very difficult to pinpoint who they are. Charlotte is at the top of the list. Thunder Rosa may be, as far as what you've seen, minuscule. But to reach that level of Charlotte Flair, forget about it, dude. I don't think anybody on this fucking planet and in the stratosphere of fucking planets are on the same planet as Charlotte Flair.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So I'll give it that. But at the same time, you can not be as bad as Charlotte and still be bad in a sense. So, but it's a little bit of it's very similar, as a matter of fact, because nobody can question Charlotte's in-ring ability at all. I mean, she's great in the ring. It's just, she's too busy putting herself over, no selling moves, and
winning Royal Rumbles that she should have never won when I had perfect knowledge told to me that Shayna was supposed to win it, but Charlotte complained about it, and then she wins at WrestleMania when everybody thought Rhea Ripley was supposed to win. Then she goes to NXT to help the division. She never helped the division. She buried everybody down there, and the division was worse with her being there. And now she's going to come back to Monday Night Raw, and the show's going to be fucking worse on top of how bad it is now because she's already teasing, feuding with Asuka, and she's tweeting what you told me, Ronda Rousey.
She's tweeting.
Don't get me started on this shit.
Here, Ronda is next. She's tweeting at Ronda now.
You thought Raw was bad. Now
it's coming. Everybody gets their breaks in right before the Christmas stretch because they got to get ready for the WrestleMania season, man. So I expect Charlotte back at Survivor Series this week.
Oh my God! Somebody. Get the bleach on the rocks ready. Somebody.
It's coming, man. It is coming.
All the fucking Android jokes in the world can't save me from enjoying her back on television, man. Anyway, Thunder Rosa lost here to Serena Deeb. The announcers mentioned Billy Corgan. This was more of an NWA decision than it was a AEW decision. Back and forth, really nice ground and pound on this, or submission style, mat-based style here from both ladies. Very good. Nicely done by both, countering each other. Dragon Screw, leg whip took control here for Deeb. We got Rosa fighting back with a drop toe hold, repeated corner lariats. Deeb hit a neck breaker over the ropes, and then an apron spear. Rosa fought out of a GTS, nailed a German suplex. She landed a missile dropkick, sending Deeb to the outside. Rebel came out, Rebel, whatever the fuck her name is, came out and distracted the referee as Dr. Britt Baker, Bay, came out and laid out Rosa behind Aubrey Edwards' back. Deeb landed a power bomb for a very close near fall. I don't understand how Rosa kicked out of this. She got the finisher from Britt Baker, and then Deeb hit her with a devastating roll-up powerbomb. I don't know how the fuck Rosa kicked. I legitimately thought it was the end of the match, but Rosa kicked out. So they
kick out and get some more offense in before she lost.
Listen, they exchanged cradles before Deeb applied a Koji clutch. Rosa fought out with a double stomp, and they went to another cradle exchange before Deeb hit a modified Angel's Wings for the 1-2-3. Rosa loses here and then immediately attacks Baker at ringside, who was out standing in the crowd as if nothing happened. She ran to the back after she attacked Rosa, and then she was shown in the crowd, and then Rosa grabbed her over the barricade. The referees tried to break this thing up. They were going back and forth. So, Jesse, looks like we're getting Rosa and Britt Baker at some point on AEW television. Should be good.
It's a medical degree, right?
Yes. That's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Okay. So she's smart enough to get a medical degree, but stupid enough to attack somebody in the ring, then sit her stupid ass right there ringside and wait to be attacked.
Listen, man, she probably got that maneuver from Bebe.
Rebel had the sense to get the fuck out of Dodge.
I don't know. It's some people telling me it's Reba.
Front row at ringside, sitting there like Thunder Rosa forgot that she got involved in her fucking title match.
So you're not looking forward to Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker?
Dude,
no.
I now know where my moment of piss break comes from.
Possibly.
When that match happens, man.
Just a little bit, a smidgen,
moment of
minuscule.
And it's not because of Thunder Rosa, man. I'll sit and watch a Thunder Rosa match just so I can look at how much she's not putting people over. But I'm gonna sit and watch her and Britt Baker. I have to watch Thunder Rosa sell for Britt Baker. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Well, you just complained that she doesn't sell. Now you're gonna get the match in a match with Britt Baker where you don't want her to go on the defensive. So which one do you want?
This is like watching.
You talk about her
Asuka.
not being on the defense enough. Now she's going to a match with Britt Baker. Which one do you want? You wanted to beat the shit out of Britt Baker?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So then she can't
Please.
sell.
By all means, enjoy. But nonetheless, she still won't be doing any fucking selling. It's gonna be like watching Asuka versus Lana.
Asuka versus Lana. That lasted 2 minutes.
But you get to watch Asuka sell for Lana. Remember that shit?
Oh, well, I don't know. Either that or Shayna Baszler selling for catering.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Shayna Baszler selling for Dana Brooke in 2020, folks. And then this is the world we live in where we have Sean Ross Sapp and Ryan Satin saying, oh, Dana Brooke is so much better in the ring. She's come a long way. She's selling for Shayna Baszler selling for Dana Brooke. On what fucking planet is that right or justified? Please, someone tell me.
So fucking dumb.
Shayna Baszler is the most dominant woman in the history of NXT, next to Asuka. And you think it's good for her to be selling for Dana Brooke? How any of you people have fucking jobs is just mind-boggling to me.
So we got Sheeta sitting
Fucking
around
ridiculous.
MIA while we've got Deeb and we've got Rosa and we've got the dentist and we even got fucking Rebel out there. Where is the AEW Women's Champion?
Apparently it's Reba.
Whatever. The fuck. Why? Why is everybody more important than the Women's Champion?
I don't know, man. I listen. This is we're beating a dead horse with this issue. Why? Why is the NWA? Salrak said it to me. Why is the NWA World Title, Women's World Title on Dynamite more than Sheeta? I don't know.
Because
AEW's women's division is non-existent. That's why. And they beat the only credible contender there in Nyla Rose, and now we're getting Anna Jay next week.
Yeah, they should have left that fucking title on Nyla Rose. They should have.
Whatever, man. It's well, we can only hope that they get better. Speaking of Anna Jay, John Silver and Anna Jay were backstage. It was revealed that Mr. Brody Lee, I have news on him, demanded a championship match against Hikaru Shida for Jay next week. Jay says that when they first fought, she was a rookie, but it's different now that she is in the Dark Order. And John Silver was overly excited for Anna Jay in this situation. Like I said, I got news on...
That's the first.
Who? What?
That's the first. Go ahead.
Oh. John Silver's awesome.
He is awesome.
But Brody...
I got my theories on Silver. I'm still looking for more proof.
I got news on Brody Lee. Why he disappeared on Dynamite. Meltzer noted on the Observer forums that an ankle injury is believed to be the reason why he hasn't been seen in the last several weeks. He says, and I quote, ankle injury, I think. And Meltzer said this in response to members talking about where Brody Lee has been. So it's unclear how serious the injury is and what his timetable for return is. But he was injured, and I'm assuming he got injured in the dog collar match with Cody Rhodes. That's all I will say there. I will not assume, but that is just my my way of thinking there. Brody Lee is missed, and hopefully he could get back sooner rather than later. I do think he fits into that whole dynamic like Pac. I do feel like when he's on the show is better.
Yeah, Dark Order is kind of slipping a little bit in the popularity realms on BTE without Mr. Brody Lee.
Yeah. And then finally, guys, in the main event, it was Team Taz, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks. They defeated Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin. Cage and Starks isolated Cody. Tags in and out. Cody reached Allin, got the hot tag. He ran wild on Team Taz and jackknifed Cage for a 2 count. He set up a German suplex on Starks. Cage came in and suplexed both of them at the same time, which was ridiculous. Tony Schiavone says, I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, it's Brian Cage. Are you surprised? I'm not. Cody cut Cage off with a disaster kick before being taken out by a spear. Allin hit a shotgun dropkick, fought out of a powerbomb into a Yoshi tonic for a near fall. Starks went for a move, but Cody cut it off, and at Crossroads, Cage flattened Allin with a spinning clothesline. Nearly took his head off. And he took care of Cody with a big back suplex. Cage then put Allin on the top rope. Allin fought him off, but Starks stopped a coffin drop, and Cage hit a fucking devastating avalanche drill claw. And I was talking to myself in this instance. I'm like, if that didn't end the fucking match, I don't know what the hell will. And that's exactly what did it. So we have Brian Cage pin the TNT champion clean on Dynamite. He pins Darby Allin for the 1, 2, 3 in this tag team match. After the match, Team Taz continued to beat down the baby faces here before Will Hobbs ran out with the chair to make the save. He picked up the FTW title, almost kind of insinuating to everybody that he wants the title. He wants to go after Cage. So he picks up the FTW Championship. He taunted Team Taz with it. He turned around and he laid out Cody with the title. And it now appears that Hobbs has joined Team Taz. And they all stood over Cody and Allin to end the show. I think this is a great move for Will Hobbs. We don't know much about him. Being placed with Taz in this situation is going to do wonders for him. Taz is a phenomenal mouthpiece. And I think to get somebody over like a youthful Will Hobbs is going to be a great thing. Another trios team is formed here. I don't see them necessarily challenging for a TNT championship right away. If there is a trios championship to chase, there you go. That could be a dominating threesome right there. But I got a question, Jesse. Why on earth did Tony Khan book Darby Allin to win the title in a tremendous way at the pay-per-view, only to come around in this match and get pinned clean by Brian Cage? So he wins the championship and then he gets pinned in his first match coming out of the pay-per-view. This is some Monday Night Raw type level bullshit here.
Yeah, I mean, I normally like calling this bullshit out on WWE and then trying to figure out a way to justify.
Champions should not be pinned on television, folks.
I can't justify this one. There's no reason for it whatsoever, especially when you got a big heel turn. Look, man, you got a heel turn in front of you right now. So right away, that heel turn, that distrust can be the reason that Darby lost. Yeah. If he had to pin him, he could have had it in a kind of fuck finish where he gets screwed by Hobbs. But yeah, Hobbs, I mean, had no factor into the decision. I mean, Darby just lost clean. No idea why. You could have protected him in so many ways.
That could have been the ending. That's where I was going with this. What you just said, yeah. Will Hobbs could have factored into the ending where it cost Darby the match. That would have been okay, even though the champion still would have been pinned. But Hobbs would have been the reason for that. Or here's a fucking mind-blowing situation, which I don't know if it's illegal or not to do. How about Cody take the pin? Cody's pretty much bulletproof at this point. Why he couldn't be pinned by Brian Cage? I mean, give me a break.
It's got a TV show coming out soon, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't care about the Big Show.
Yeah. Big Show.
But I want logic. But it seemed to be that this was counterproductive tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna die from it, Darby.
No.
I mean, it's just he has the title. He's not built up yet. He still needs wins.
Yeah.
So having him lose right away is extremely counterproductive right now. It was such a bad idea.
Yep. That's my opinion on that as well. Guys, that is the end of the review portion of the podcast. If you guys came for the review, I appreciate you. Thank you for making us number one tonight in the wrestling YouTube community. Appreciate you all. Hit that like button if you're on your way out. But if you want to hang out, I'd love to have you. We're about to go over the Super Chats tonight. Super Chats are open.
Is this the part of the show where we all spam and fan me a PS5? Hey, can we get back and do a live stream tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern and everybody spam Walmart to get me a PS5? How about that?
That's going to happen eventually.
Confirm. Everybody in the chat, all 1,000 people, come back and we'll spam Walmart at 3 o'clock. Just for me.
Well, listen, I'll be live on Twitch tomorrow. I'll put out the notification.
Just for me, man.
Guys, hopefully you can hang out here. We're going to go over the Super Chats in a bit. Again, thank you all. Make sure to hit that thumbs up on the way out, man. Let's try for 750. And I want to thank Dr. Squatch, man. We're going to be pushing them hard all season long, all winter season long, man. Winter is coming, not just for Moxley and Omega, but for Off the Script as well. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off, guys. That is the largest discount using my code that I got in my family of sponsors, man. Handmade bar of soap, hair care, toothpaste, natural deodorant. You guys know how it works, man. Take care of yourself and don't be a wrestling slob like most of the community. I give you guys the best. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout, man. Let's go over these super chats. Let's start at the top here. We got P-Mac with the $2 super chat. Is that Jade chick AEW's answer to Bianca Belair? No. By the way, Jade attacked Brandy in the back. We didn't really see it, but she was with Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. We forgot to mention that on the show tonight.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Nothing of note there. Nothing of note there. Gregory Benson with a $4.99 super chat. I would take 2 hours of anything Inner Circle over 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. Bro, I would take the same thing. Seriously. I'd take 2 hours of fucking two geeks playing chess and watch Monday Night Raw. Hoyt Reynalda, $4.99. Hey, JD, what do you think of a Death Triangle and the Family Feud? Do you think they will go till Revolution? And what do you think of Daddy Moxley? I don't think they'll go to Revolution, but I look forward to the Death Triangle versus Eddie Kingston's guys. And what do I think of Daddy Moxley? Congratulations to him. He seems like a genuine human being, and I am very happy for him and Renee.
Pretty sure Vince can't wait to put that kid in the main event of WrestleMania.
Oh yeah. Or maybe reform the Shield. If Seth Rollins has a son and Dean Ambrose has a son, or Jon Moxley has a son, Roman Reigns, what has he got? How many daughters has he got? 4 daughters?
Roman already has like 4 kids, man.
Yeah, so there you go. The new Shield coming in 2006. Jonas Tiger with a, I don't know what this is, SEK50. I don't know what that is. $5 it is, apparently. Death Triangle is back. Hell yeah. Jonas, thank you so much, man. And then he donates another 100 SEK. This is a $10 super chat. Welcome back, Jesse. How was catering? Any good dishes that you could recommend, he says.
The green beans. Green bean casserole.
There you go.
Get it locked down.
There you go, Jonas. Take notes, bro. Justin Striplin with a $9.99 super chat. Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb was great, but it irks the shit out of me not seeing Hikaru Shida get in the ring, beat those women down, and say, "This is my show, bitches," while holding her title. Yeah, it irks me too, because AEW just refuses to build their women's division while it concentrates on NWAs.
By the way, that last donation, SEK, was Swedish.
Swedish donations by Jonas Tiger. Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. What's up, man? Top Flight have been great on Dark. They killed it tonight with the Bucks. Hopefully they stick around in AEW, where tag team wrestling is thriving. I agree, bro. The more the merrier. Marcus K with a $3.99 super chat. JD and Jesse, and still YWC tag team champions. Bro, we ain't losing them fucking titles. Ever.
Nah.
Get
not
it right.
Anybody over.
Yeah, we're not putting. We're gonna be a Charlotte.
Nah, I'm a Thunder Rosa this shit.
Oh, God. Hollywood guy with a $5 super chat. Hey, bro, 2 things. How do you and Jesse rate the show? And Jesse, did you see Braun run fast? The show was solid. I don't really rate shows. I enjoyed it. It was a good show. And Jesse, did you see Braun run fast? Where's he running to? I don't know. But did you see him?
Didn't see him. It's too fast. Like John Cena, man.
You can't see him. Yep. Chase Wood with a $4.99 super chat. Do you think they should add a set of 6-man tag team titles on AEW? Oh, Chase, we talked about it, bro. Yes, I do. Pedro, look at this fucking monster, man, with 2 Canadian $25 super chats. I'm willing to be patient with it, but how they presented the Death Triangle reuniting fell flat for me. Out of the members of the Team Taz, who do you think will be the biggest star in 5 years? Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks.
And in your opinion, if they broke Santana and Ortiz away from the Inner Circle, what would you think of Zelina Vega being their manager? Listen, I said one of 2 things. I think that's great. I didn't really think of that, but I said, Why don't you manage the Lucha Brothers with Zelina Vega?
Lucha Brothers, yeah. Santana and Ortiz have a fairly high level of mic skills.
Yeah.
Really high level of mic skills.
Can you imagine Zelina coming in and managing the Lucha Brothers, man? That would be fucking a great sight.
Perfect.
Sean Lopez with a $13.99 Canadian. What's up to my Canadian goons out there? Josh Alexander is very local to promos in Toronto, and Ethan has a promotion as well. AEW is perfect for them. I had a chance to watch them for years and now shoot the breeze with them. I think they're fucking awesome, bro. I really do. I think they are a solid fucking tag team. Hopefully they come to AEW. They can do damage there. Gavin with a Australian $5. Do you think AEW would co-produce the Crockett Cup in 2021? I don't know, man. It depends on how deep their relationship is with Corgan. I don't know yet. I don't really know yet.
At the point right now, it just feels like the companies are just merged.
Yeah.
I've seen more NWA matches over the last couple of months than I could ever imagine I'll be looking at this year. But I just think they're just getting ready to merge completely, or Tony's gonna buy them out or use them as a farm system. At this point, they're just the same company, man.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
No. But at the same time, they're making moves because they're showing up on the AEW television. So I'm waiting for Nick Aldis. We need to see him on AEW television.
Yeah. I think that would be great.
Yep.
We got Pedro with more Super Chats. He's got 2 more Super Chats, a Canadian 10 and a Canadian 5. Thank you so much, brother. Not to make this about WWE, but I don't know if you guys heard Russo saying that Charlotte is the only woman in wrestling that knows how to be a star. I was
looking for a job.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say that. And Charlotte is only a star because of her father and because she refuses to put anybody over. It's fact of the matter, folks. I have very good knowledge of the situation. Pedro W. with a $5 super chat. He says also this. He said, Sasha and Bayley don't know how to be stars. We all know Jesse sees a star in Britt Baker, LOL. I'll disregard that last comment. Sasha doesn't know how to be a star. That woman fucking walks out on stage and automatically is the star of the entire Thunderdome. You fucking kidding me?
Sasha said tonight that she was just as big as Beyonce.
Well.
I'm not gonna argue with her.
Listen, I'm not gonna argue with the woman. She has the capability to do so.
Nope. That's what she says. That's what it is. I'm done talking about it.
There you go. Kenley Pierre, $5 super chat. Hey JD, how about Finn Balor forming the Bullet Club again with Adam Cole and AJ Styles? What brand would desperately need this faction?
No.
Raw, right? No, Raw. Raw would kill them. And B, Adam Cole, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor in the same photo on Twitter. I know what you're talking about, Kenley. It was done to get people talking, and that's what they do. There's no legitimacy behind that.
That will never happen on WWE television.
No.
Give that up.
No.
Give that up.
And if it does happen, why would you want to see it?
Yeah, they're gonna kill it. Exactly. Yeah.
Mr. Cake with a $4 super chat. Congrats to Mox and Renee. Also, Archer laid him out. That's what you think. I think it's me and Jesse think it's Hangman. Hey guys, is Miro dead? No.
Who?
No, Miro's not dead. He's just in a fight.
I think he's in purgatory. I think he's close to being dead. They can get him out, but they gotta do something quick, man.
Yeah. Edgar Estrada with, look at this, a $10 and a $50 super chat. Oh, this was a great show tonight. The Mox promo was fire. Miro showing his athleticism was a thing of beauty. He's a great athlete, man. He's the super athlete. Top Flight got to shine. Loved it. At Jesse, try Walmart.com tomorrow for the PS5 per their site, he says.
All aware of it, man. All over it. I've got tabs open on my screen right now for Best Buy, Amazon, GameStop, Target. All tabs on my screen right now.
I'm telling you, man, Amazon's probably your best bet. That's where I got the PS4 day launch and PS5. I've been 2 for 2 in the last 2 consoles.
Amazon has had nothing but $1,800 consoles up.
That's ridiculous.
All day.
Edgar says also for the 50 bomb, watched Full Gear before Dynamite, and it felt good to watch all that great wrestling in one day. AEW is bringing out that love I had for ECW and the Attitude Era years end in a bang with Omega as world champion. JD and Jesse are number one. OTS for life. Thank you so much, Edgar. You are a vital...
you guys... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said I was going to say Edgar is a vital part of his family here, man. Everybody in the chat loves you.
Edgar's awesome, man. How many of you guys got the Young Bucks book? I got it, and I'm almost done. I should be able to finish it tonight, maybe. But what a good book, man. I learned a lot of stuff about these guys that I did not know.
You know, I might check that out. If it's on Audible?
It's on Audible.
I might check it out.
It's not bad. It's only about 9 hours long.
Listen, guys, Jesse mentioned the Young Bucks book. Listen, you guys can get it for free right now. audibletrial.com/offthescript. If you guys want the new Young Bucks book, it is on Audible, says Jesse. Get it for free right now using our link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. I would love you for it, man.
Awesome book. It is a really, really good. It's up there with one of the most interesting wrestling books I've had.
Michael Reed with a $20 super chat. It's Lamar's from Twitch. What's up, brother? What's up, JD and Jesse? This is the number one wrestling podcast in the IWC OTS for life. Who should be the next in line for the AEW Women's title? What happened to Austin Theory? He was removed from the wheel. I don't really think there's anybody else after Anna Jay, bro, to be honest with you. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, so it's a very difficult question to answer. What happened to Austin Theory? They took him off because of all the allegations that he's going through right now. Now, apparently, they brought him back, and they kind of resurfaced again, so that's where that's going there.
Big Swole's going to be next. Big Swole's going to be competing for the title next. She's being brought up through Dark right now.
Jesus. Not really exciting, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. He's not going to win, but that's who's going to be next for Seidel. It's going to be Big Swole.
Pedro W. with a $10 super chat. If BTC hits 100K per coin, or if Bitcoin hits 100K per coin, I'm going to attempt to purchase SmackDown and NXT from WWE. If I'm successful, would you guys be interested in working with me? Yeah, sure. I'll be creative. Jesse could be manager for Cameron Grimes.
Bro, you find me a PlayStation 5 and I'll go out there and do whatever the fuck you want, man. I'll go out there and lay down for the finger poke of doom, whatever. I don't care.
Mr. Cake with a $2 super chat. Turnbuckle Cam showed a bit too much of Pac tonight. I like the Turnbuckle Cam. I didn't really see what you were talking about there, but I like the Turnbuckle.
Oh, no. Do we see his little pack? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh. Mr. Premium 2002 with a $9.99 super chat. After this pandemic ends, how long do you think it will be before we start having meet and greets between Jesse and his favorite wrestler, Britt Baker? I don't know, bro. No idea.
I would, man, but you gotta be safe with COVID. Can't do it. Sorry.
Yeah. Jacob Donnelly, another $5 super chat, man. Thank you so much, brother. Hey, guys, thoughts on the PWI 50 list? That's not Jacob Donnelly. I'm sorry. Question for Jesse. Did you see Britt Baker's waiting room segment on Dark? Don't mean this as a rib. Genuinely curious.
I did see it. It fucking sucked, dude.
There you go. Jesse was not a fan of the waiting room.
No.
Mr. Cake had the question about the PWI 50 list. No, we did not see it. Usually I don't pay attention to those lists because they're all kayfabe. Nobody cares. Thank you for $2, bro.
I think it was the tag team list this time, right?
I'm not sure what they did.
I think it was the top tag team list. I don't even know. I didn't look at it either, but I think that they released the tag team list.
Omni Entertainment with a $5 super chat. Opinion on firing Omega as women's division booker. Also, great duo, you and Jesse. Finally, it's good to just wait on PS5, in my opinion.
I'm waiting. I'm not paying a cent more than retail price. So in that sense, I'm waiting. I'm just trying to get it before Christmas right now.
As far as Omega goes, I'm not sure if he's still in charge of the women's division. But I wouldn't say fire them. I just think they need more continuity, more consistency. And they're struggling right now with a mixture of nobody being built up, injuries. So they're not looking good right now. Justin Strippin with a $4.99 Super Chat. Enjoy both women's matches on AEW and NXT tonight, and the women tonight stole both shows. Wow. I don't know what happened on NXT, nor do I care. I know it was Io Shirai Rhea Ripley. Who cares?
I love Io now. Hold on.
I know.
Io's awesome.
Edgar with the $10 bomb and other $10. At Jesse, congrats on getting this jackass to watch Dark. Motherfucker.
Yes. I know, right?
There's
only 2 matches, but I'm working on it, guys.
This was a great night of wrestling. Wednesday is the only night that matters. Jesse, I got you tomorrow. I love you, JD. Jesse was on fire tonight. Thank you, Edgar. So much, brother, for the super chats. Your boy Chris, $4.99. What's up, JD and Jesse? Did you hear about NXT TakeOver War Games? December 6th is the date. Great Dynamite tonight. Great review as always. I'd love to know where this event is taking place. Will it be in the Thunderdome? Because they can't do 2 cages in the Capitol Wrestling Center. And if you don't have 2 cages, let me tell you something, folks. It's not War Games.
No. December 6th they're having it?
Yeah. They announced War Games.
Oh, that's kind of... I mean, all right. That's a Sunday.
Yeah, they got their own standalone pay-per-view.
I thought the old WCW shows were just like Wednesday night shows.
Well, if it doesn't happen inside the Thunderdome, then I don't see how they're going to do it.
Maybe they'll be over in the baseball field by then.
Maybe.
They're going to have to be.
Tropicana Field is what it's looking like.
Yeah.
And Mr. Cake with the last one, $5 Super Chat. Cody came out against Aldis in AEW. He said their match at All In was special and can't be replicated. I thought it was a little overbooked, but it was a good match.
Cody came out where? He came out on NWA?
He came out against Aldis in AEW. He said their match at All In was special and can't be replicated.
Okay.
Overbooked, but it was a good match. It was a good match. Just overbooked.
It's a good match. Yeah. I've noticed that Cody is backing down from his matches a little bit. You know, from the overbooking. You know, because I mean, for the start of the year, Cody, every match Cody did, you know, by the ring of the bell, he was already bleeding. You know, and then in came 45 people, and then came the gimmicks, and he kind of slowed that down and just started doing, some other stuff, but, you know, just eased into it a little bit more. So I think he's kind of paying attention to that. He kind of calmed down on the theatrics a little.
And Justin Strippin with a last one here, $4.99. FTR got number 1 in the PWI tag team list, rightfully so. Sasha and Bailey got ranked higher than the Young Bucks on the list, again, rightfully so. Yeah. Young Bucks didn't really do much of anything up until them winning the titles, but Sasha and Bailey were WWE for most of the year.
Yeah. I could agree with that listing, sure.
Guys, we are getting out of here, man. Thank you so much for a great night. Hit that thumbs up on your way out, man. Let's try for 750 before we get out of here. At JD from NY206 on Twitter. Follow Jesse as well on Twitter. At Chi-Town Smark. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and turn on the bell for notifications. I'll be back live on Friday night for your SmackDown post-show, guys. Again, awesome show. Jesse and I are getting out of here. We're getting in the Mustang. We're going to grab our cold beverages. And you guys know what's coming up, man. Turn that volume knob all the way up. Give me those guitar emojis in the chat. And Jesse and I will see you right back here on Wednesday next week for Dynamite. And I'll see you right back here on Friday for SmackDown on OTS, man. I'll see you guys later.